everyone, I Jhanat Patel from LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology in the Department of Electronics and Communication welcomes you to the session of Power Electronics. Today I am going to discuss about Unit 6, that is Applications of Power Electronics, with topic Types of UPS. So let's start the session. Now let's talk about the next one type of UPS, that is transfer back UPS. For the transfer back UPS, first let's see the limitation of it. If mains and UPS fail simultaneously, again as we see in case of the offline UPS that it works when the main and UPS fail, then in that case we see in case of the continuous UPS that it can be provided the supply by the AC generator. So here this limitation is main and UPS fail simultaneously, that it can be transferred the power by the UPS with AC generator. Here the AC generator improves the reliability because in case of the continuous UPS also we have seen that it provides the continuous power to the system, and that's why here AC generator improves the reliability of the system. It makes the system costly because we need the three types of supply, like single phase or three phase supply. The second one is the UPS supply, and the third one is AC generator with AC supply. So it increases the overall system cost and it makes the system costly. Now let's see the block diagram of it. So again, for the block diagram, first block is rectifier plus charger. Then it is connected with the inverter. Then again the static switches of two anti-parallel XCRs connected. It is connected further with the load. Load can be of resistive or can be of inductive type. Again the power saving can be possible with the battery bank. Again main static switch is also there. Main static switch is normally first on, and then if the UPS supply also fails, then it will be connected through the state path. Here again the generator and static switches are connected. Generator and static switches are there, so we can say that AC generator should be there. Here the path will be like this. Generator static switch with AC source is there. So here for the line interactive type of UPS, the difference is here the one inductor is the additional component that can be connected with the line interactive type of UPS. So in the previous block diagram, let's make change by connecting our static switch with the other component, that is inductor. So by connecting inductor with it, we can say that here again the critical load is connected with the inductor circuit. Why we use the inductive circuit even here? So it provides the protection circuit, or we can say that the snowball circuit that we already talked in unit number 1, and the protection circuit. So here inductor is connected with the critical load. The inverter plus charger is also there, and it is connected with the battery bank. So this is the block diagram for line interactive UPS. It is different by connecting the inductor with it. So if we connect the inductor to it, so the path will be different than like it will be connected with the inverter and charger and then with the battery bank. In the previous case, we have seen that there is two static switches are there. Here you can note that one static switch is connected to the AC main only. So let's talk about the operation of the circuit. So it can be operated in two different modes. First let's talk about the mode 1, that what will happen in mode 1. So in mode 1, first if we talk about the static switch, then for the different two modes there can be possibility of open and close. Like if that static switch is closed, then it operated in mode 1. If that static switch is closed, then it operated in if the static switch is closed, then it operated in mode 1, and if the static switch is open, then it operates in a mode 2. So the first is static closed switch, means here two SCS are connected and both the switch is closed. So if the switch is closed, it is directly connected with the inductor. Inductor is further connected with the critical load. It can be of any type of load, but with the high amount of load. Again, for the saving the power, it will be given to the inverter plus charger or the battery bank. So this is the mode 1 block diagram. Here please note that the static switch is closed. In case of mode 2, we see that you will see that this switch will remain open. So the flow can be seen by this arrow, that it will be like flow from the static closed switch to inductor and from inductor to critical load. So this will be the path for mode 1. In case of mode 2, the static switch will remain open. If the static switch will remain open, then the remaining block diagram is again the static open switch, then the inductor and then the supply. So the static open switch is connected with the inductor, then it is connected with the critical load. Again, the second part will be from the inverter plus charger, and through inverter plus charger it will be connected with the battery bank. So this is the block diagram for operation in a mode 2. Here the arrow should be again in the same way, but here the flow will not given by the open switches, it will be through the inductor to critical load. So these are the two modes of operation for the line inductive type of UPS. So let's see one comparison for online UPS and offline UPS. We have already discussed about the online UPS in the last session. So let's compare that online UPS with offline UPS. So it will be compared with the different parameters. First parameter is the output voltage. In case of online, it will be of sinusoidal. In case of offline, it will be a quasi-square type of waveform can be seen. If we talk about the harmonic distortion, then harmonic distortion is a factor that will degrade the system performance. So it should be as low as possible. So in case of online UPS, the total harmonic distortion is low, while in case of offline UPS, total harmonic distortion is high. And because of that that high amount of harmonic distortion, we can see that the transfer time for that offline UPS is slightly more than the online UPS that we can compare. That the transfer time for the online UPS is immediately transfer, means 0, and in case of offline it takes some time, it's about less than 5 milliseconds of time is required for offline UPS. If we talk about the efficiency, then it is low, and in case of offline it will be high efficiency can be provided because it can be operated in a different two modes, and mainly in this case UPS will remain off. If we talk about the isolation, then in case of online full isolation is required. In case of offline there is no isolation is required. If we talk about the size and weight of the complete system, then in case of online highest size and weight is there because the component cannot be off at any time of instant. While in case of offline, we can turn off any of the path, like we can either turn off the UPS static switch or the AC mains, so it has the size and weight reduced. If we talk about the operation, then online UPS is the type of continuous UPS, means it can never be stopped. While in case of offline, it will be only work in the absence of main, means if the main supply is not there, then it can be provided with the offline UPS and power and continuous offer the power. So these are the comparison for online and offline UPS. Now let's talk about the applications of the complete uninterruptible power supply. So these are the list of applications, that is, as a power supply for computers, it can be used for supplying the continuous power to the main equipment. It can be used or in an intensive care units, means like ICU rooms where we need the continuous power to the patients, and in that case if the power cut, then it will be a great damage. So for the intensive care units, UPS uninterruptible power supply should be used. Now let's see the reliability of UPS. For the reliability of UPS, first in the block diagram, here the two static switches are there. Here these two static switches are for the two different UPS, like AC mains is connected with the two different UPS, UPS 1 and UPS 2. So here, the reason for using these two UPS is if the main system fails, then again the UPS also fails. Then at that time, if we work on an intensive care unit, then it will be difficult to handle the situation. So in that case, to get the better reliability, one can use the two UPS, means if even the main cutoff or the UPS cannot work due to some reason, then there is one option of other UPS. Here you should take care that the one UPS is always connected and the other is not connected. But if there is a damage to the circuit will occur, then that UPS is further connected with that static switch. There is a two anti-parallel SCR connected, and then it will be given to the load. So this is the case of the reliability of UPS. So this is the session for the uninterruptible power supply. For this session, if you have any doubt or queries, you can ask me on my email ID. Thank you for watching.